Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
West Fargo Public Schools announced their re-entry plans for the upcoming school year this morning, saying students will start off learning in a hybrid model as long as the COVID-19 situation in the county remains similar to what it is now. Valley News team Bailey Hurley was at the meeting this morning and joins us live now to break down what else West Fargo parents can expect. Bailey?
Brian, it's important to remember that nothing Superintendent Beth Sleddy said this morning is set in stone, as the plan still has to be approved by the West Fargo School Board at their meeting on August 10th. But now, in that plan, the first day of school would be pushed back until Thursday, September 3rd. However, Superintendent Sleddy says that does not mean that the school year would be extended in any way, shape, or form yet. Now, also, like you said, Brian, that plan says that as long as COVID-19 is the same as it is right now in Cass County, they will start in the hybrid model, which means students whose last names start with the letters A through K will physically go to school on Mondays and Tuesdays. And those with the last name who start with L through Z will physically attend school on Thursdays and Fridays. The other 3 days will solely be virtual learning. And Superintendent Sleddy says, of course, those families who choose to not or cannot physically attend school will have a distance learning plan given to them. Now, I'll break this plan down much more for you tonight on Valley News Live at 5. For now, reporting live in West Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Thanks, Bailey. And West Fargo Schools just sent the full plan to parents and staff a short time ago. You can also find it on our VNL News app. Well, we was teased by sunny temperatures all week and could see that change later this afternoon, which you can see on your screen, actually. Let's check in with meteorologist Lisa Green.
Yeah, it's happening already for some of us. We've got storm clouds rolling in the Northern Valley, specifically northeastern North Dakota has been the focus for that. Whereas in places like Fargo, we still have some sunshine and some quiet weather. But this is our home of economy Skycam in Grand Forks. You can see how dark the skies are with the clouds rolling in, and looking near the surface, some areas where there's some rain coming down now in the vicinity. So looking at some storms again, northeastern North Dakota starting to creep into that extreme northwestern corner of Minnesota too. And this is heading toward places like Grand Forks. It's just outside of town. We've got a couple of areas to focus in on. First of all, in the Hallock area, we've got some rain and thunder coming down there. This is moving to the south and east. And then a little further south, a bunch of little cells that have been popping up, but one specifically that's looking a little bit stronger. There's just west of Grand Forks, so get ready for a shower or downpour in Grand Forks. But this little area right here, this storm that is moving toward the Sharon area, this line, that might be producing some penny-sized hail, maybe some wind gusts at 30 miles per hour. So that's the next one to watch out for here. But all of them could be producing some lightning, a brief downpour as well. And turning on our storm tracks on this, you can see radar indicating that there might be a little bit of hail in some of these, specifically that one that was looking a little stronger, perhaps getting closer to that 1-inch range. So something we're going to be watching here as we continue on into the afternoon. And I'll let you know what to expect for the rest of the day throughout the valley coming up in your hour-by-hour planner.
This is definitely a big change from the sunny weather we received all week. Thanks, Lisa. Well, a man who escaped from jail in Barnes County after being on work release, he has been caught. According to the Barnes County Sheriff's Office, Tyler Delmore is in custody as of Friday morning. He was originally released on Monday for work duties as part of his criminal judgment. Another inmate, who was also apprehended a few days later, escaped last week. North Dakota and Minnesota have released updated COVID-19 numbers for their respective states. In North Dakota, the Department of Health is reporting 168 new cases of the illness. The active case count is now at 1,017, a new record high. No new deaths have been reported. In Minnesota, 779 new cases have been confirmed, along with 6 new deaths linked to COVID-19. For the full rundown of the new numbers, just visit our website or the VNL News app. A Duluth police officer escaped serious injury after he was hit by an SUV during a traffic stop. The police chief for the department posted the video on Facebook showing multiple views of the incident. Officer Nick Hudson stopped the vehicle and was getting out to chat with the driver when a red SUV zips up from behind and hits the side of the officer. Another police officer then chases after the driver of the SUV, and that driver is eventually arrested for criminal vehicular operation, resulting in injury. DWI, and possession of controlled substance. The police chief says just a few inches was the difference between being injured and potentially killed on the road. Newly unsealed documents shows communication between accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein and his confidant Ghislaine Maxwell. Maxwell was arrested in New Hampshire July 2nd, accused of recruiting underage girls for Epstein to sexually abuse. Epstein died in jail last year with the cause of death listed as suicide. Maxwell's attorneys claimed she has not been in contact with Epstein for more than a decade, but documents unsealed Thursday appear to show the two corresponded in 2015. In one email sent a few weeks after one of Epstein's alleged victims shared her story with a British newspaper, Epstein tells Maxwell, "You have done nothing wrong, and I would urge you to start acting like it." The email goes on to say, "Go to parties, deal with it." A little more than 3 months before the presidential election, Donald Trump is suggesting it be pushed back over concerns about voter fraud. But that change lies in the hands of Congress, where many members say the election will not be delayed. CBS's News' Naomi Ruckham has more.
President Trump again pushed his unfounded claim that mail-in voting will cause rampant voter fraud. This after he tweeted that the 2020 election will be the most inaccurate and fraudulent election in history.
I don't want to delay. I want to have the election. But I also don't want to have to wait for 3 months and then find out that the ballots are all missing and the election doesn't mean anything.
But the president doesn't have the power to delay an election. That decision is up to Congress, where Republican leaders say there will be an election on November 3rd.
Never in the history of the country, through wars, depressions, and the Civil War, have we ever not had a federally scheduled election on time. And we'll find a way to do that again this November 3rd.
In his argument, President Trump cited New York's recent primary, where it took more than a month to count absentee ballots. The results were just finalized this week.
We need to have that election on time. We need to have the election so the American people can make their decision.
During the funeral of Representative John Lewis, a staunch voting rights activist, former President Barack Obama appeared to accuse the administration of voter suppression.
Even as we sit here, there are those in power who are doing their darndest to discourage people from voting.
Back in April, presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden predicted President Trump would try to move the election. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
President Trump heads to Florida today to continue fundraising for his campaign. Well, coming up at noon, can you imagine traveling a long ways for a delicious meal just to see it close when you get there? That happened to one Florida man. And the teasing of sunny weather with the potential to end the streak this afternoon. Weather up next to plan your day.